up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning, happy Tuesday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break, full show ahead. Should we tease our special guest now at 7 a.m., Sip, or hold off on that? We will be joined at 7 a.m. by former LSU head coach Ed Orgeron today. Plenty of questions for him regarding it. Guys in Nebraska staff, Mickey Joseph, Bill Bush, and also I'd like to know his thoughts. Does he think he coached the best ever team in the history of college football?
There you go.
Would he say his 2019 national champion LSU Tigers was the best team in college football history? I want to hear Ed Orgeron's thoughts on that at 7 a.m. today.
You can definitely make that argument.
You sure could.
I wonder what Pete Carroll would say about that. Did he have any USC teams that were that good back in the not so long ago?
Yeah, he had some good teams. 05 was really good. Well, I guess they lost to Texas. What year would they be the best?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
I don't think you ever hear USC mentioned as like the best of all time. It's 01 Miami, it's 95 Nebraska.
It's 01 Miami.
I mean, we saw that team.
It's 01 Miami or LSU 2019 is probably what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's what we're talking about.
You could make a very, very, very strong argument for LSU 2019 as the best football team in the history of college football.
Right.
So I'd be curious if he agrees with that.
Yeah, Pete Carroll, I brought up Pete Carroll because it wasn't that long ago that USC was on sort of a bender like Alabama. Not like Alabama, though. I'm looking at it right now. Not like
it was good, but it was not
like
13 to 12 years of dominance.
No,
like Bama.
No, it was
really good.
Yeah, Pete Carroll. We're going to get into this Rose Bowl discussion. That's partly why I was looking at it. Pete Carroll was he was 97-19 at USC.
That'll do.
Yeah,
that will do.
From 01 to 09, 97-19, 63-14 in the Pac-12. Huh. Anyway, yeah, we got Ed coming on.
Yeah, we got Eddie O today.
We got Robin Washut coming on.
Yep.
And we have a lot to talk about.
I can't wait.
Is my voice okay?
Also,
hello,
6:45. I'm not doing this now, but I'm going to give you some grotesque stats from last night's Monday Night Football game.
Okay.
With Ben Roethlisberger and Baker Mayfield, or you call him Baker Dofield.
Yeah, Baker Dofield.
I'll tease that. 6:45. You'll hear some grotesque stats from last night's terrible game.
Okay, now here's the thing. I always want to say there's a couple of things I want to get off my chest. Baker, when I call Baker that, I like Baker Mayfield. I like him.
Why do you call him Baker Dofield thing?
Because he's kind of doughy. I mean, he's a little doughy. All right. He's not like streamlined quarterback. But I love those commercials. Those commercials are hilarious. And
there's a lot of doughy quarterbacks. Ben Roethlisberger is the king of dough.
Well, if his name lended itself to a name like Baker Dofield.
Well, it's a burger.
Yeah.
There used to be a Roethlisberger you could eat in Pittsburgh. Like they had it at restaurants.
All right. Let's get to your topic.
I want to get this before that. There was news yesterday, of course, that the news of college football yesterday was Caleb Williams, the Oklahoma quarterback who took over for Spencer Rattler this season, is in the portal. He says he's still considering Oklahoma. He might come back.
But Dylan Gabriel went to Oklahoma yesterday.
Dylan Gabriel, who went from UCF to UCLA, says, not so fast. I'm going to go to Brent Venables and Oklahoma now.
Yeah, those guys are getting good about pumping those Twitter graphics out.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, they can get that.
Yeah.
They can get
quick.
They can whip those things into shape fast now.
Amazing. They're prepared for all teams at all times.
Yeah. Dylan Gabriel. So Dylan Gabriel to Oklahoma. Caleb Williams. Now the thought right out of the bat was, he's going to USC with Lincoln Riley. No, Sipple. He's going to Georgia. And why is he? Why would he go to Georgia, Jake? Why would he go to Georgia? Who do you think put the biggest package together?
I'm sure Georgia did.
How about $1 million plus?
Well,
That's what the buzz is.
I expect $1 million plus for him.
That's what the buzz
That's what I expect.
That's the buzz. That's Bryce Young. He's in that territory. You go where the biggest package is. That's typically the SEC anyway, right? Now maybe USC can counter, right? I mean, can't USC come up with $1 million somewhere?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah. So maybe they'll counter, or maybe Lincoln Riley got to LA, saw Jackson Dart, and thought, I got a quarterback. I like this guy, Jackson Dart. Maybe that's the guy, right?
Or maybe if Williams goes out there, if then Jackson Dart goes elsewhere.
Right. Could be, but I think no, Jake.
Just
I don't think you heard
musical chairs.
I don't think you heard the news. Caleb Williams is going to Georgia.
No,
it's not official. That's the chatter. Caleb Williams to Georgia. Now, what do you think if you're Stetson Bennett? What if Stetson Bennett leads them to a national title, which he has a great chance
I know.
to do?
That's the weird part. Come on, it's bizarre. He could be a national champion quarterback and be replaced next year.
Yeah, summarily. Already replaced. I mean, he's already replaced.
Yeah, you got one more game now. Win it and be a champion, but just know this is it. Your road ends here.
Well, Stetson Bennett, maybe Nebraska just waits and get Stetson Bennett.
We're just in strange times.
Well, that's what we're going to
talk
about. Okay, I want to throw out an analogy. Okay. You asked the question on our rundown today. Show sponsored by Gana Trucking, right?
Gana Trucking. Yes.
Gana Trucking. Is there anything wrong, you say, with simply making the Rose Bowl as the new long-term goal for Nebraska football? Okay, first of all, you gotta get to be more reality based. All right. Now, here's the way I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to help you. Pretend, okay, like we're conductors of a train. All right. Now, you're the young guy, still kind of dreamy. You got at the next stop. God only knows what you got going. But I got to worry about the train. And the train, as I see it right now, and I'm not even saying anything to you in the conductor's seats, the train is on the verge of just roaring out of control. And I'm trying to figure out right now how to keep it on the tracks. How to keep it from becoming what's that movie? Speed?
Yeah,
where they
I've
can't
seen that one before.
Where they can't stop the train. That's what Speed's about, right?
That's the Pelham one, right?
Okay, whatever.
Take you Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, whatever. The train, you can't stop it. That's what I'm worried about. So I'm trying to press some levers. Now, your levers, Jake, what are you saying? Is there anything wrong with simply making the Rose Bowl as the new long-term goal for Nebraska football? Yeah, there's something wrong with that. It's called people don't care about bowls anymore. So let's get in the reality. Let's get in reality. First of all, if Nebraska makes the Rose Bowl, how many guys are opting out?
I don't know if many are.
Oh,
they haven't been there in 20 years.
Oh, yeah, that would stop it.
This is a program that has missed 5 straight bowl games. The Rose Bowl was an epic game this year, by the way.
Reality.
Well, Ohio State had guys opt out because the playoff is their goal. They've been there.
That's a good point.
Nebraska, that's what I'm saying. Is the playoff realistic? Is your best you can hope for is making the Rose Bowl?
Here's the best you can hope for.
That's what I say.
We have to reverse course a little bit on yesterday's discussion. We have to. Again, we're conductors pulling levers. We're trying to keep this college football train from going completely off the tracks or just speeding down the tracks without any control. All right. We're trying to pull some levers. I'm going to pull a lever right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, expand the playoff.
Wow.
Here's why. Get more teams involved. More players go to different places. Okay. Then it spreads the talent around. Right. Not everybody. It's not so concentrated. Then are you listening to me?
I'm listening, but I'm shocked that you switched so strongly from yesterday.
Well, you have no. You were correct in the short term. It doesn't make any sense to have a playoff like right now because there's nobody's challenging Alabama and Georgia. Nobody can challenge them. But if you expand the playoff, you expand the chances of somebody challenging them because players want to be part of the playoff and they will go to places that are part of it. Okay. And it'll expand. Talent won't be as concentrated. That's the line of thinking. That's the lever I'm pulling. It would affect Nebraska. Now, Nebraska, if it was a 16 playoff, I have a much better chance to go to the playoff and sell that to recruits. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then fewer of the very best players would be concentrated in those schools that we always associate the playoff with. Right now, Alabama, Georgia, but it's Clemson, right? To a certain extent, it's Oklahoma.
Yep,
to a certain extent, it's Notre Dame. To a certain extent, you want more Notre Dames and Oklahomas out there, and then players they'll want to participate in that. They want to be part of the playoff. They won't opt out if they're in the playoff. Then you get fewer opt-outs. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get right now. You're right now, and I'm right now. There's no sense this year. There would be no sense in having a 18 playoff. There'd be no sense in it. We know who the best teams are, right? All you can do is pray for a weird
What
upset.
changes first, though? More competition having a chance to win it in football, or the playoff allowing that to happen?
Well,
what happens
ask that
first?
question again.
I'm just curious. What happens first? What makes your scenario more plausible? Is it does Alabama falling off first make that happen, or does it expanding the playoff make them lose some of their luster?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you got to consider that Nick Saban's how is he 70 years old?
70,
now?
but he
can't coach.
He's not showing many signs of slowing down at all.
No, but it wasn't. I brought up USC because it wasn't that long ago. You would have said the same thing about Pete Carroll. He isn't showing signs of slowing down, but the situation changed, and USC was the dominant force in college football for 6 or 7 years, ending in 2009. But that's not that long ago. All right. Alabama's not going to be winning these national titles forever. They're not. I mean, it seems like it right now. So I don't know. I'm not worried about your question. I'm just worried about expanding the playoff pretty quickly and starting the process, the fix-it process. Because right now he can't. And then I don't even know what to tell you about this portal. That's a whole nother lever that we have to consider on this train. This whole thing with Caleb Williams and Stetson Bennett, I mean, that conversation, obviously you are put off by it.
It sounds very strange to be playing for a national championship game less than a week from today, 6 days from today.
Great chance to win it.
With a great chance to win. And this might be your last game, and you might know it's your last game as a starter there. And with eligibility still left, you could still play next year. He's not done yet.
Think about Stetson Bennett, what goes through his mind. Now, maybe nothing's going through his mind. Maybe hopefully the only thing on Stetson Bennett's mind is beating Alabama and not what happens with Caleb Williams. Okay? But, I mean, he's human, right? I mean, he's sitting on top of the world, and all of a sudden, no, I guess I'm not sitting on top of the world. Caleb Williams is sitting on top of the world. He doesn't even have to win the damn title. I want to win the damn title, and then he's got to come in and enjoy the benefits. We're just in that world. Now, Kirby Smart would say, if we had him on the radio today, you know what he'd say? Caleb Williams isn't going to be guaranteed anything. He's not. I'm not promising.
Sure, he's not.
Exactly.
Sure, he's not.
Yeah, you're just giving him $1 million. Now, okay, but that young Ohio State quarterback, he got whatever he got from Ohio State, and he didn't win the job. He was down their depth chart and left. So he wasn't promised anything. So you just got to kind of ride with it, right?
Yeah.
Ride with it.
Well, you have to. You can't stop it. There's nothing you can do, but you can't just shout into the wind. It's not going to change anything.
No.
So you have to ride with it, but you can still think of the better days of college football. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
it's just where we're at. And maybe it excites some of you. It is kind of when you see on Twitter the news yesterday in the afternoon, I was shocked. It was surprising to see. Well, Caleb Williams, who just beat out Spencer Rattler and took them to win their bowl game, is leaving. Really? I mean, they have a new coach. Lincoln Riley's obviously to USC now, so I guess it makes sense in that capacity only. But he had won the job at a very, 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 very strong school in Oklahoma. For him to move on so quickly, yeah, that was a shock yesterday.
What made sense was, okay, he's going to USC. What didn't make sense was, no, he's not. He's not going to USC. He's going to Georgia. What? He's going to Georgia? Yeah,
nothing's official yet.
No,
nothing.
That's
the rumor.
Thank
right
you.
now.
Thank you. Yeah,
people think there's not anything official. He's in the portal. A lot of people are saying that the buzz is with Georgia. I mean, USC is still in this conversation, by the way.
Okay, Dominic Raiola, whose son is being heavily recruited by Georgia, was. I mean, he was one of the guys that said, "Yeah, he's going to, Caleb Williams is going to Georgia, right?" That, I mean, a lot of people were talking about that yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see what Derek in a car has to say.
Let's get a call from Derek in a car at 464-5685. Derek, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Good morning. Happy New Year. And best wishes for a wonderful 2022, gentlemen, and a great show always.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, just a quick touch on your expand the playoffs. You're absolutely correct. Sipple, get your crayons out right now. We're going to do a little exercise.
Okay, my crayons are out.
Okay. So why can't we take the top 10 teams as reported in the computer rankings or whatever that thing is that they have, and then bunny bracket 8 versus 10 and 7, 8 versus 9 and 7 versus 10 as a play-in to, the 8 seed and the 7 seed, so that you actually get your top 10 teams. Now, granted, you're going to have a bye week for the first 6, right? And that's just a reward, where the last 4 are going to play that first week. It does extend the season by a week. I realize that, but that's how you're going to get 10 teams in. And that's how you're going to make people realize that it's a little more fair. And that's how you're going to spread some of the talent around across the nation as well.
See, that's the lever I'm trying to pull, Derek, is talent being dispersed more evenly. That's what
will happen, Sip,
is
you will be able to reallocate athleticism across the board, because now a team like Minnesota, for instance, has a chance to make that top 10.
Yeah.
So it's not unheard of. So I think that's the first start. And then from there, we just need to figure out how to take the money back out of the game. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, Jake.
Let me ask you this: Are you waiting for Saban to retire for all this set place?
No, I mean, I don't. I mean, George is gonna. Hey, Chris at the Baldwin Shop. The dudes at the Baldwin Shop. By the way, thanks for all the work you did on the roads. Great job. Chris at the Baldwin Shop has Georgia to win. He's on the right horse, Jake. So what are you talking about? Nick Saban right now is not sitting in his office thinking, I got number 8 locked up. I know what they did to Georgia.
Both these teams right now are head and shoulders above everybody else.
I know, but it doesn't. Yes and no. By the way, I mean, LSU was a very ordinary team this year and pushed Alabama to the limit, as did Auburn. Head and shoulders. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but come on.
There was moments they looked human this year. They did.
Yeah,
but
Georgia looked awfully human in the SEC title game. Now, they didn't look human the other night. I'm picking Georgia, by the way, and you know how much I like Alabama. I'm with Chris. Chris is on the right horse. Chris, you're on the right horse. I hate to say it. I don't want Georgia to beat Alabama.
I do.
I know you do. Well, you're on the right horse.
Good. Yeah. You can always jump on the right horse anytime.
Well, I'm picking Georgia.
You're not on the horse, though.
No, I'm just picking them. I'm not on them.
Let's get a call from Mark on the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. Mark, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Good morning, guys. Happy New Year.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Good, buddy. This is a.k.a. Dave Dipple.
Oh, it's Dipple.
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 Yeah.
You're going by your real
No,
name
no,
today.
no voiceover today, right?
Okay, all right,
Hey,
Mark.
Okay, Mark.
Steve, I'm with you. I'm 55 years old, and I clamor for the old days too, when kids actually held their commitment, that they were here for 3, 4, 5 years until they were able to work their way up the ladder and earn their spots. The NIL, I think, is just ruining everything. Why can't we put a cap on the NIL so that Georgia or whoever can't spew out 1.2 million? What if it's $100,000 cap? Kids still get a lot of money, but the rich don't continually get richer and richer. I know it's hard to hold these young men accountable to their commitment, but we got to figure out some way to do that. You can't transfer every year. It's free agency, just like the NFL is. What if you transfer, you have to sit out 4 games or a semester, or you can only transfer twice in your entire career? There's got to be some kind of remedy to all of this madness. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Mark, okay.
Thanks for the call, Mark.
Now I will say this, Mark and Jake and Harris. I watched the Rose Bowl. Now, if you just keep yourself in the games and watch the games and don't think about what's going on, it's still pretty entertaining, right?
That was a great game.
The Rose
Bowl was an awesome football game.
Right. I wasn't thinking too much about Olave and Garrett Wilson and the 2 other guys that opted out. Only to the extent that if I were a Utah fan, I'd be like, okay, if we win this game, people are going to say, you beat Ohio.
Hollow there,
you beat a shadow of Ohio State. See, that's a problem. But the Rose Bowl was filled.
Yep.
The stadium was full. All right. I watched Iowa, Kentucky off and on. I was writing at the time. I was working, but it looked like it was a normal bowl game to me, like fun. Games looked fun. Crowds were into it. I don't want to overreact to all this, Mark. I'm like you. I'm concerned. I'm telling you, I'm using the train analogy. I'm really worried about the train losing control of the train right now. I mean, I hope to God, I don't even know. And by the way, Mark, I don't know who the conductor is. I don't even know who it is. I'm just putting me and Jake in there in an analogy. I don't know who it is. Who's running the train?
We're on
Jake?
the train, but we don't know who's in charge.
Who's running the damn train?
No idea.
Nobody knows. You can't say it's the NCAA anymore. They're impotent. They can't run the train anymore. Who's running it? Okay, the answer is the conference commissioners. And who's the most powerful conference commissioner? Greg Sankey of the SEC.
Sankey.
Of what? The SEC.
Yep.
Kevin Warren?
Is he running the show?
Pretty much.
Greg Sankey runs the show?
I guess. I mean, to a certain degree, yeah. I don't know. Okay, we're talking about 3 or 4 different things. We're talking about opt-outs. We're talking about the transfer portal. We're talking about the opt-outs and the effect they have on bowl games, and we're talking about NIL. We're talking about all these levers, and then shoot-off levers that beget levers, right? That's what we're talking about. It's wild, and it's hard, and it's almost like the people who want to blow it up are in the catbird seat, right? Because we're all kind of confused about what's going on. Is that the sense you have?
It gets a little weirder every day.
Yeah. I guess in a sense it's fun, but I don't know.
Is it the kind of nervous fun, like you're laughing, like
it doesn't seem
looking
like
over your shoulder?
The thing is, like Mark's 55 like me, and we can't, and you got to stop me from being the old guy, having the old guy takes all the time. But it doesn't. Harrison understands this too. He's a young guy. This doesn't seem like the college experience, right? Like Caleb Williams, where's he getting the degree from?
Yeah, it's different from what we went through in college.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that doesn't matter that much.
Well, they as Cardale Jones once said, we don't go to, we don't play football just for school, whatever it was.
Right. They don't. So I forget that.
These guys don't care about the education. They care about the football part.
But there was a time when me and Mark were young, 55-year-olds, there was a scholastic element to it. I mean, Nebraska prided itself on having the most academic All-Americans in the country. Nobody talks about that anymore.
No.
They don't care. People don't care about that.
They don't. Winning is what matters.
Yeah.
And if you're
And
not
who's in the
winning, then
portal?
what are you doing?
Who's in the portal today? Who's in the portal? And you better, if you're a coach, think about Venables. Think about the coaches. You better be light on your feet. Your guy, Caleb Williams, has a great situation in Oklahoma. Not great enough. He's gone. Okay, well, we better find a quarterback.
And they did.
Because this is no joke. This is no joke at Oklahoma. We got to win. We just lost a Heisman Trophy, potential Heisman Trophy winner today.
Yep.
We got to get somebody fast. And it can't be plan D. All right.
So let's go.
You got to be light. You got to be light.
Coach Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, you got to be light. And you know what else you got to do? You got to recruit your own guys all the time now. You're recruiting out of the portal. You're recruiting freshmen. You're recruiting JUCOs, and you're recruiting your own guys.
Yep.
You're recruiting your own guys. I know what I'm doing if I'm Zach Taylor. Don't come at me with, hey, about Zach Taylor coaching at Nebraska. That's an insult to Zach Taylor. First of all, he ain't going back to college. Not in this mess.
Not
in this
mess.
mess.
It's so tough right now.
If you're winning the AFC
that
North,
kind of coach.
that's an insult. That's an insult to ask Zach Taylor to coach Nebraska, especially with the mess that's going on. Insult.
You'd have to hope that he collapses somehow, which is a terrible thing to hope on somebody.
No, you don't hope that. I get what you're saying, but no, you ain't
for the people who are desperate enough to wish that. You see it all over the place. People are like, bring back Zach Taylor.
Yeah,
he would be insane
and,
if the Bengals keep winning the way they're winning. That they just won the AFC North. If they do that, if they keep making the playoffs, why would you leave that situation ever?
Jake, he's got Tom Brady. All right, he's got the future Tom Brady. What did he come back to Lincoln for?
Joe Burrow is going to be there for a long time. He's got great receivers in that roster.
I don't know. How old's Jamar Chase?
He's a rookie.
21.
Yeah.
How old is T. Higgins? 22. Come on. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying those guys are staying there forever, but
they won't. But they'll be there for several more years on their rookie contracts.
Yeah, let's not even talk about Zach Taylor coming back to Nebraska. That ain't happening.
You hear it all the time.
No.
I think it's important to say
no way.
It's
no shot.
I don't know why he would come back here.
No shot.
With how,
I wouldn't even ask him the question.
The NFL is such a way. I'm not saying it's easy, but compared to this, it's a way easier job.
Yeah. Why would you want to manage this now?
Just keep Antonio Brown off your team, and you should be all right.
7. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Antonio's got issues. I don't want to make fun of him too much. I mean, I'm concerned about Antonio Brown at this point.
We didn't ruin the Bucs because they're still winning, but there's a chance that he could have really caused them some problems if he was on the roster still.
What are the people saying? Do you think we're crazy?
Yeah, here's the one from John Des Moines. Speaking of the academics part of all this, he says, "Yeah, I remember years ago when player introductions on TV would list their players' major in school. Those days are way gone now. They don't show that stuff anymore. They say, well,
it's a good point, John.
I'm from here. This is my hometown.
Yeah,
I'm not majoring in this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you know what? You'd kind of pay attention to that, right, John? When they flash that, it'd be interesting to me.
This guy's majoring in housing over here, whatever that is.
Or, even if it was accounting or something like that, business management, it kind of gave you a window into the guy. You don't even, you're right. If they put that now, it'd just be like, well, why are they putting this major on there?
Joe says ESPN and Disney run the show. They're the conductors here.
Oh, gosh. Who said that?
Joe.
Joe is right. Okay. Largely, it is a TV. They're controlling it. They're controlling scheduling. They're controlling as much as anybody probably.
JP says, would you, instead of playing conference title games, would you just scrap those to expand the playoff possibly?
Yeah. Well,
take those away and expand the playoff.
I think so. I think that would be a natural byproduct, so to speak, of an expanded playoff.
Dino says Nebraska better get dirty or we are dead forever.
Yeah, you don't have to get dirty now with the NIL. NIL's legal. I mean, it's just you just got to launder and you can do it. I mean, that's Now, I don't know. Now, the NIL rules will evolve. I don't know exactly how they will evolve, but they have to evolve. Right now, the lack of structure is what the universities are dealing with all over the nation. The NIL structure there's not a lot of it. Okay. So, and that's the universities are dealing with all over the country. I don't know what to tell you about all that. I don't want to be alarmist, Jake, and I think we come off that way sometimes. Just keep a cool head. We're running the train, okay? You got to keep a cool head. It's not necessarily the train's still operating.
Yeah.
All right.
The rails are getting pretty.
Yeah, it's fast. It's moving fast.
Yeah, it's getting
Jake, it's moving a little
fast. A lot of
fast.
sparks in the rails right now.
Yeah, it's moving a little fast. Those trees are going by a little too fast. Right? If things are happening on the train, I'm not really comfortable with. I hear some weird
the carts is getting loose.
Yeah, I hear some weird sounds, right? You hear some weird sounds. I don't know what to tell you. Now, back to your question. Is there anything wrong with simply making the Rose Bowl as the new long-term goal for Nebraska football? Jake, things are changing so fast. I don't even know. Is the Rose Bowl going to have prestige in 4 years?
My point is that can you actually sit here and say that the playoff is your goal? I mean, you are so far away.
If you expand it.
But right now, you can't say that. Like now,
not right now. But
right now, can you honestly say that Nebraska's goal for next year is to be one of the 4 teams in the playoff?
No,
it's just not realistic.
But how many teams can say it's realistic right now? How many would you put? What's the number you would put on that?
Well, Cincinnati got in, so that's a big step for the group of 5.
Okay.
Since he got in,
all right.
So I could say
first
10.
ever.
I could say 10.
All right, yeah, that's where I'm in that ballpark. 10 out of 130. It's not healthy. Is that healthy? Don't you want that number to be about 30, 35, 40? 10?
I don't think you can have 40.
You have 120 teams that have no shot of making a playoff? I mean, yeah, Nebraska's in there. You got to expand.
Yeah, they're there.
You got to give Nebraska.
So you've done a complete 180 here.
Not in the I'm not disagreeing with you right now, but I think right now you would agree it's not healthy right now.
No, it's not healthy.
So I'm thinking of levers to pull to remedy the situation. Okay? That's a lever. Expand. Spread the talent. Give kids a chance to be in the playoff. And as the talent spreads, and Nick Saban gets older, maybe you have a better chance. Okay?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Now, I don't know what Kirby's going to be doing, but Kirby might be the next Nick Saban.
He sure might. Yeah, it might be just be a Georgia dynasty coming up here.
Yeah.
Just transfer power in the SEC.
You got to have more and more teams make runs at them and spread the talent out of there.
They get a lot of great players. Hey, A&M has a great class this year. Maybe they could be next team to push it, but that's still the SEC, though.
Yeah, it's still the
South.
That
change? It's still the South. It's a different team up there.
Yep.
More next, an early break in the ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
What does better service mean? At Allo, it means that you get the best fiber internet available at prices that work for you. Better service means installers who show up on time. Better service means no billing shenanigans. Better service means a real person answers the phone. If you're not paying for better service, what are you paying for? Get Allo. Get better service. Switch today at allofiber.com/better service.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Our public school teachers want every child to learn, grow, and succeed. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the NSEA. School's in session, and it's key to build a partnership with your child's teacher. Visit with them and ask for an overview of your child's strengths and areas for growth. Ask for recommendations for activities and opportunities so you can work with your child to harness their strengths and address their challenges.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association on this station.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
Bagels and Joe reminds you that you can order from the app or online and have your order delivered to your house. And Grubhub delivery is available too. You can also order curbside at any of their 3 locations or use the drive-thru at 78th and Pioneers. Bagels and Joe thanks you for your continued support of local business.
I'm Dan Friedman. When you entrust the care of an aging or sick loved one to a nursing home, it can be a gut-wrenching decision. Unfortunately, sometimes these facilities are poorly managed or make bad decisions, and our vulnerable loved ones suffer the consequences. If you believe your loved one suffered at the hands of a poorly run nursing home, it doesn't cost you a thing to get the opinion of a skilled trial lawyer. At Friedman Law, we've been protecting the rights of injured Nebraskans for over half a century. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
A warmer but windy day on the way as winds by late this afternoon could gust over 40 miles per hour. A wind advisory will be in effect late this afternoon through tonight. We'll top out near 46. Bitterly cold air starts to move in tonight with a low of 9. Only a high of 14 tomorrow and a chance of snow by tomorrow night. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This
I'm not on drugs. I'm not drunk.
is Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Lost in the Caleb Williams discussion was the fact that the Minnesota running back, also in the portal, Kai Thomas, is also in the transfer portal as of yesterday.
Be light on your feet, Nebraska. Be light on your feet.
A lot of guys that can improve your program out there right now that have played college football.
Yeah.
Got to convince them that you're worth considering, though.
Yeah.
And that you're going the right direction.
Well, and, maybe Nebraska's not interested in him, but I know that those coaches are, because I know the I know coaches in this day and age, college coaches have to be. I mean, like I said, they're recruiting out of the portal. They're recruiting high school players in a conventional sense. They're recruiting JUCOs in a conventional sense, and they're recruiting their own team now. You got to recruit your own team.
Let me ask you a question regarding, go back to Caleb Williams for a second. Caleb Williams, who's in the portal from Oklahoma. All right, so if Georgia is the favorite for him.
I know I presented that like fact. It's not done. So it's not. You're right.
So there's a lot of people out there on Twitter that say, hey, Nebraska should get involved with Caleb Williams, which, again, I don't expect that. But if they were to get involved, so how much more would they have to offer than Georgia?
Probably double.
To get him. Because Georgia's going to be a national championship contender pretty much every year going forward, probably.
Yeah, and
Nebraska's not.
No.
What matters more to Caleb? Is it the money he can get at NIL or the chance to win a championship?
Well, if you can have both, then you're going to take both.
But in this case, Nebraska might have to offer double the money.
But if you offer
and
double,
have less of a chance to win a title. I mean, no chance.
Less of a chance.
The tiniest percentage of a chance to win a championship versus the greatest.
Come on. I mean, I don't know if all the money in the world would sway you in that
situation. It might be 4 times what he needs to get, not double, 4 times higher.
Yeah, there's just no. he's got a chance to have it all at Georgia.
Right.
Money and a title.
Yep.
Real good chance to win a title, right? I don't know exactly what. No, Georgia's going to lose a lot off this team.
But they're going to gain a lot too.
Yeah, we think. I mean, yeah.
They reload.
Yeah, I don't want to
reload also.
Okay, but I don't want to do this thing where we just say it's automatic, because that diminishes what Nick Saban has done at Alabama. Just shrugging it off, and I think it's dangerous, or it's somewhat disrespectful to what Nick Saban has done at Alabama, just to say, oh, they reload. Well, they do, but it's not that easy. Jake, what they're doing is not easy. Okay? It's really difficult to do what they're doing. Really difficult. That's why it hardly ever happens. I mean, come on. It's difficult. You want to talk about Matt Corral?
Yeah, let's get a call from John first, though. Right. John, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good, John. Thanks for calling.
John, thanks for calling.
In order for us to be where Alabama and Georgia is, you have to win. You can expand the playoff all you want, but those teams, unless other teams can step up and knock them off, is going to be the same. I mean, right now it's Bama and Georgia and everybody else. And Ohio State is in that category right now. Michigan is in that category right now. I mean, until you get, yes, players help, but winning drives it. And unless Nebraska starts winning, they can expand the playoffs to 30, and it's still not going to matter. You have to be able to win with the guys you got and try to get whatever else you can get and go from there. And once you win on a consistent basis, then you will get whatever. Then you will get the players.
Yeah, I got you. No, that's true. It starts there. Hey, John, it starts there. You have to establish that you can win as a program, right? You do. What do you say, Jake?
Well, this is not right now a Nebraska discussion. They're so far away from being considered, even playoff worthy. If you expand to 30 teams, they're not even there yet.
Right.
Still,
no, you're right.
So they have to improve, and then you can have that conversation.
But it's not. Yeah, but I still say, if the playoff expands, it is good for programs like Nebraska. It's good for everybody, basically, including Nebraska.
You've got people in their cars right now saying, "We've been screaming this at you for months."
Right.
And now you finally open up.
Yeah, I did sort of I talked to a coach yesterday who was listening to the show yesterday and said, you got to open your eyes to something. You're right. Right now, Jake. Right now, it does not.
Right now, it seems pointless. It's inevitable doom.
Right.
But if
you gotta think down the road.
If we get to a point where more teams have a chance, then maybe the players,
it spreads
the great
the
ones
talent.
will just go to the same place.
Might spread the talent.
Might.
Yeah.
Might. Keyword.
Well, you got to do something, because I think we agree right now. College football is not in a good place. Okay, not in a good place. This is going to get us to Matt. Is it Corral? Corral. Okay, Sam McEwen of the World Herald. Now, I want to hear what you think about this. He did a Twitter poll, Sam. He asked the question, do the number of he asked this 2 days ago, I believe. Do the number of players opting out of bowls bother you? That was the question. Okay. You could give 4 different answers. Yes, it bothers you, the number of opt-outs. No, it doesn't bother you. One other choice was out loud, I say no, but yes, it bothers me. Or out loud, I say yes, but no, it doesn't bother me. Okay. Now, I would say the results of this poll, if I were a college football leader, would concern me. 2,500 votes. It was, okay, the question again, do the number of players opting out of bowls bother you? 50% of the responders said no. 41%, though, said yes. And 8% said out loud, I say no, but yes, it bothers me. So you're talking about a split. If half the country doesn't like opt-outs, I'd say that's a problem, right? If half the country, I'm not saying this poll represents the country, but I have a feeling it's pretty close to this, based on what I hear from my friends, based on what I hear from coaches, the opt-out thing. Yeah, I mean, the people that are pro opt-out can't come to you and say, hey, you're in the minority. If you're in the minority, it's a very slight minority. We're talking about a split here now. If half the fans in college football are concerned about something, you can't ignore it.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. Half is a lot.
Yeah.
Half is a lot.
Right. And that's what Sam's poll reflects. Now, I'm guessing a lot of opt-out people are hoping that poll would be like, no, people don't care. Yeah, they do care. 50% care. It's a big number. Okay?
You can't. I mean, it lessens the bowl games. It has to.
It's.
You can't really deny that it lessens the bowl games when all these players are not playing because they're trying to stay healthy, and they obviously don't think it's a huge deal.
Okay, now here's the thing, though. Let's be fair. It's not a lot of players right now. It's not a lot. It's a small percentage. You got to be fair. Okay?
But it's the marquee names, though.
Right.
Kenny Pickett isn't playing his bowl game.
Yeah.
Olave doesn't play in his. Wilson,
Kenny Walker.
Kenneth Walker doesn't play. Those are big names in college football.
Diminishes the product.
Some of your absolute best players did not play in their bowl games.
Now people are going to say, "Yeah, that just creates opportunity for other people." No, come on, don't give me that. Don't say that. You don't say that about the Brooklyn Nets when Durant doesn't play. Oh, just give somebody else an opportunity. No, when Durant doesn't play, I don't watch. Okay, that's it. If Durant and Harden aren't playing against the Lakers on primetime on Christmas, I ain't watching. Or if I'm watching, I'm not nearly as interested. So don't give me that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, your interest level is definitely going to be changed.
Was my interest level the same without Olave and Garrett Wilson in that game? No, it wasn't the same.
Great game, but you knew they were missing some pieces. Yeah, it was fun to see players break out like who had already broken out, but Smith-Njigba was incredible.
Yeah, go back to 2009.
Marvin Harrison Jr. was incredible.
If you take Sue out of the Holiday Bowl in 2009, is that bowl as appealing? Now, take it a step further. Take 4 guys out of it. Take 4 guys out. Who's another great player on the 2009 Nebraska team? Eric Hagg, Prince Amakamara. Take those guys out. Was he in 2009 Amakamara? I don't know if he was. Right. Yeah, he was.
He was there, yeah.
Yeah.
DeJon Gobes.
Take those guys out. No, don't tell me that you wouldn't care. I heard people say, I wrote that. Some people said, Sipple, we'd get over it. No, you wouldn't. Give me a break. That's disingenuous to say that. If Sue pulled out of the Holiday Bowl, you're telling me as a Nebraska fan it wouldn't have affected you gravely?
That would have sucked. It's hard to put yourself in a spot 12 years ago, but that would have sucked.
It's not that hard. I mean, that bowl mean nothing 12 years ago?
Number 2 overall pick
in
the draft.
Sue takes himself out of that game. How would we react? That was just 12 years ago. Yeah. Well, not that long ago, right? It's interesting. Now, Matt Corral, I don't know. That's a really unfortunate situation. Does it change the way I look at it? Here's the way I look at it. I think I get misrepresented a little bit. Maybe I misrepresent myself. I respect guys. I respect the decision of guys like Olave and Garrett Wilson to opt out. I respect it. I definitely understand it. But do I think it's good for college football? No, I don't. But I guess it's good for them for sure. And I understand where they're coming from. It's generational money. But do I prefer someone like Matt Corral saying before the game, I never question whether I'd play because 1, I want to play, and 2, if I was my teammates in their shoes and they had a quarterback that was in the same position, I couldn't live with what they would think of me leaving. Do I prefer that? Yeah, of course I prefer that.
It's sad that that's not right now the norm, it feels like.
Yeah, and people don't want to hear those quotes from Matt Corral. They don't want to, the opt-out, pro opt-out people, they don't want to hear that because
it goes against their narrative.
Yeah, it goes against it. Yeah. I mean, one of his teammates before the game said, this is Sam Williams, who's a defensive end at Ole Miss, before the game said, I never thought he was going to opt out. I don't think anyone did. We have a brotherhood here. I couldn't imagine Matt just up and leaving. That's not the person he is. All I'm saying is I gravitate toward that guy more. Is there something wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with gravitating to the guy who wants to finish off the season
With
for
his
his team.
brothers, yeah, and his
with
university,
one game to go.
and the fans.
Yeah. Commendable.
I just like that's what I
Sucks
like.
he got hurt.
That's what I like. He
But
does,
but he knew that.
I wonder if he
Potential going in.
Right. Absolutely.
Song of the day when we come back, and also some grotesque stats from last night's Monday Night Football game. Next, an early break at the ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
A warmer but windy day on the way as winds by late this afternoon could gust over 40 miles per hour. A wind advisory will be in effect late this afternoon through tonight. We'll top out near 46. Bitterly cold air starts to move in tonight with a low of 9, only a high of 14 tomorrow, and a chance of snow by tomorrow night. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Bagels and Joe reminds you that you can order from the app or online and have your order delivered to your house. And Grubhub delivery is available too. You can also order curbside at any of their 3 locations or use the drive-thru at 78th and Pioneers. Bagels and Joe thanks you for your continued support of local business. Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family serving yours. That starts with how we hire. We go through an extensive interview process to really get to know you and show you who we are. We want to help you build a great career, be challenged, have fun, and bring home an excellent weekly paycheck. We offer competitive wages with benefits, including a day off for your birthday. Apply to be a part of the John Henry's family at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Our public school teachers want every child to learn, grow, and succeed. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the NSEA. School's in session, and it's key to build a partnership with your child's teacher. Visit with them and ask for an overview of your child's strengths and areas for growth. Ask for recommendations for activities and opportunities so you can work with your child to harness their strengths and address their challenges.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough
never feel like an
if
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning?
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
He stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
well good to be right now. Without
Song of the day, Long Train Running by the Doobie Brothers. 464-568-51 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
they're running late without love. Where would you be now? Without love.
Once again, your Song of the Day, Long Train Running by the Doobie Brothers. 464-568-51 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Well, Jake. Okay, we're going to do our ratings thing.
Yeah. We always do that every day for the last 5.5 years. Good job. Way to go.
Well, in case somebody's tuning in for the first time.
Oh. Yes. Hello to that person, whoever that is.
Yeah.
Or
Well, there could be several. It could be hundreds of thousands that are tuning in for
Millions?
the first time. Every time I hear the song, I like it.
Wow.
Every single time. When that song comes on, I keep it on. It's just beautiful. It's timeless and it always feels good. There's songs like that, right? There's a lot of songs like that. That's one of them. I would give that an 8.5. 8.5.
I'm surprised about that. Didn't expect that response from you.
Love
You love that song.
I really like it. It always sounds good to me.
Is that your top Doobie Brothers song?
You know what? Give me some others.
Well, the best one clearly is What a Fool Believes. Okay. And I don't think there's really an argument to that. That's a fact.
I think you're right.
That's
on
a
that.
fact.
That's a fact.
Factual comment.
That's a
Best
great
song by the Doobies.
Yeah, it's a really good, and it's a really interesting song.
Blackwater, Doobie Brothers. Not a huge
This one's
fan of that
better.
one, yeah.
This one's better. What else? Come on, listen to the Doobie Brothers song. You're good at this.
Listen to the music.
Good. Not this though. I think we
China
got
Grove.
That's pretty good.
One. That's a pretty good song.
That challenges this one. Let's see what Harrison thinks.
Harrison's got to think that's probably like a 3.6.
He contemplated it over there.
Did he? I didn't see that. I did
Yeah.
not see his face on that one.
Yeah, he contemplated it. He's got good taste in music.
Grease board today too. There's two of them over there.
What's going on?
I don't know.
He's got a new sweatshirt on. I like that
Get
sweatshirt.
that fresh haircut.
Yeah.
It's a new year, new
Must have
Harrison.
some kind of lunch date today.
Oh, he must have a lunch date today, Harrison. Wow.
You getting a little lunchtime? Oh, all right. Sorry. I would say he gave that a 6.0, flat 6.
Nope. I
Flat
said 3.6.
Okay.
4.1, closer to my score. Not great, but different.
It's really not different.
It's different. Some
Thank you.
ratings.
Thank you,
8
Harrison.
from Jennifer, 7.2 from Gabe, his first cassette ever. 8.5 from
Cassette.
Rod. 6 Harper, 6 Harper's dad. Same score for them.
6, okay.
7.5 Joe and Boulder. 8.5 John and Fremont there. Cruz says good choice, an 8. Corey Lincoln says 5. Fine song, uninspired choice.
A little bit of that, yeah.
7.4 from Stan, and 9 from Rod.
I'd like to hear you get into some Eric Clapton, maybe.
It's a new year. You never know.
Yeah.
You might hear
Go
that.
to some a little hard hitting, like some hard hitting Clapton would be nice. How about that? Or some Jimi Hendrix?
Yes. Before the top of the hour, I'm going to give you a number. I want you to guess something. Then we'll get to our top of the hour guests. All right. Last night, the Steelers beat the Browns 26-14 on Monday Night Football. Ben Roethlisberger threw the ball 46 times. How many yards do you think he had last night?
Okay, yeah, it must be low, or he wouldn't be asking.
He had 46 pass
Yeah,
attempts.
so he must not have been very efficient.
He had
Or-
24 completions.
Yeah, or you wouldn't be asking me. 46 attempts for 124 yards.
Wow, 123.
Oh gosh,
That's
good.
horrible.
Yeah, it's good. That's horrible. Yeah,
That's
that's
2.7
embarrassing.
yards
Yeah, it's
per
embarrassing.
attempt.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Per completion.
Yeah.
It wasn't better for Baker. Baker Mayfield, the loss, 16 for 38 for 185, 2 touchdowns late when the game was over, 2 picks, 9 sacks last
Okay,
night.
I got a question for you.
9 sacks. for
As
Baker.
someone who watches the NFL a lot, sometimes when you guys, Happer and Schaaf, came in, and you guys would be talking about NFL, a reoccurring thought or a recurring theme was how bad the games are. Are you at all concerned about level of play in the NFL?
Well, COVID has hurt that with all these guys who can't play. They're not opting out. They just can't play because of the COVID protocols.
And it is affecting the
Sure
level
it
of play.
has. I don't think it affected the Browns last night. I think they had most of their guys playing. It just got smoked by the Pittsburgh defense.
Oh, let's see if we can get Edo on the line.
Sox. When we come back, we will be joined by former LSU head coach Ed Orgeron on early break on the ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm Dan Friedman. When you entrust the care of an aging or sick loved one to a nursing home, it can be a gut-wrenching decision. Unfortunately, sometimes these facilities are poorly managed or make bad decisions, and our vulnerable loved ones suffer the consequences. If you believe your loved one suffered at the hands of a poorly run nursing home, it doesn't cost you a thing to get the opinion of a skilled trial lawyer. At Friedman Law, we've been protecting the rights of injured Nebraskans for over half a century. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
A warmer but windy day on the way as winds by late this afternoon could gust over 40 miles per hour. A wind advisory will be in effect late this afternoon through tonight. We'll top out near 46. Bitterly cold air starts to move in tonight with a low of 9. Only a high of 14 tomorrow and a chance of snow by tomorrow night. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What does better service mean? At Allo, it means that you get the best fiber internet available at prices that work for you. Better service means installers who show up on time. Better service means no billing shenanigans. Better service means a real person answers the phone. If you're not paying for better service, what are you paying for? Get Allo. Get better service. Switch today at allofiber.com/better service.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone, and Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting January 8th, all for a chance to win $1,000. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up today. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting January 8th with 2 locations in Lincoln.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Tuesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Fun show so far. You got the podcast at theticketfm.com. The show's been fun. It's about to get more fun, Sip, because it's not often that we have the pleasure to be joined on these airwaves, or any airwaves, by a national champion head coach in football, a recent one at that. We are now joined, Sip, by Ed Orgeron, the former LSU head coach, the 2019 national champ. Good morning, Ed. Thanks for joining us. My first question to you is this. A lot of people think that your team, Ed, in 2019 might be the greatest football team in the history of college football. Would you agree with that? How would you assess that team, Ed?
Yeah, I think that's for other people to decide. I know we had a great team. We had a great coaching staff. We beat 7 out of the top 10 teams that year. That team is up there. They've had some great teams. They've had some great teams in Nebraska, USC, Miami, Alabama. But it deserves to be mentioned as one of the top teams ever, for sure.
Ed Orgeron joins us. Ed, let's just back up a little bit. What's going on now? What are you taking a break from coaching? What's Ed Orgeron up to now?
Working out, driving people crazy. I want to take a year off. I want to spend a year off with my boys, get some stuff settled. But I do feel like I'm going to get back into coaching. I've got a lot left in the tank. I'm just going to see where it's going to lead. 60 years old. You got a lot left in the tank. Now, you have told me before you have a genuine fondness for the state of Nebraska. Why is that? I always liked Nebraska. Growing up, watching Nebraska, Monty Kifflin, Tom Osborne, the great teams there. Bo Pelini asked me to go speak to the clinic there. It was my first time there, the tradition in Nebraska. I just always liked Nebraska. I just think it's a great school, great state, great football, tough, hard-nosed football players.
Ed, you've been in the SEC for quite some time now, and Nebraska is obviously the Big Ten. What are your thoughts on Big Ten football, and you compare it to where you have been the past few years?
Well, just the SEC is just a little bit different. And, how the top players come down here, the caliber of players and the caliber of coaches that you face each week is at the top. It's a notch below the NFL.
Interesting. Ed Orgeron joins us. Okay, let's get right down to it, Ed. Bill Busch is about to be named the special teams coach at Nebraska. Bill Busch probably have another tag. He might be helping with the secondary. He joined your staff, Ed, at LSU in 2018. He had never coached or recruited in the SEC.
Right.
From what you saw, why was Bill Busch able to adapt so well to that very demanding and challenging SEC world that you just talked about?
First of all, Bill is a great man. He's a great communicator. He's an outstanding recruiter. I didn't have anybody work harder than Bill Busch in recruiting. I get to the office early in the morning. He'd be there texting his players. He's always on top of it. The parents loved him. Bill Busch is the single most important reason that we got Joe Burrow. We wouldn't have won the national championship. We wouldn't have that team if Bill Busch was not here. Bill Busch was very integral in recruiting Joe Burrow. A great recruiter, outstanding man.
How did that work with Joe Burrow? Did Bill have to do some convincing of the head coach? How did that? What was the dynamics there, Coach?
Well, first of all, we were watching spring practice. My son Cody called me and said, "Daddy, this Joe Burrow's in the transfer portal. You got to get him." And he said, I said, "Where's he from?" He said, "Ohio State." I said, "Well, Bill was at Ohio State." And I went to ask Bill. Bill said this. He says, "Coach, if we get Joe Burrow, we're going to the college football playoffs and we're going to win it." I said, "Well, let's go get him." And Bill Bill had a great relationship with his mother and father and his brothers already. He convinced them to come to LSU.
Let's stay on Bill. Let's stay on Bill for a second. I think it was Mickey Joseph who told me that Bill had a DB's plan, a defensive backs coaching plan on your desk every day at 6 a.m. Is that true? Is that right?
Every day. Tips and reminders on what we're going to do for the day, the installation, the things that we have to improve on. Very, very detailed, very committed football coach.
We're joined by Ed Orgeron. Regarding Mickey Joseph, Ed, you look at the NFL these past 2 years. Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase have both broken the NFL record back-to-back years for most rookie receiving yards, and those are both guys he helped get there. Did you know those guys were that good when he got them? How did it all come together like that to create these incredible players at LSU that have now taken that to the next level?
First of all, Mickey ought to be getting a percentage medically retire. You know, let me say this. We knew Jamar Chase was going to be a great player. There's no question about that. And he had committed to Florida. Mickey did a great job of capturing the family. As you know, you got to capture the champion. Jimmy, his daddy, was very instrumental. But Jamar wasn't going to go anywhere that Mr. Leah didn't want him to go. And Mr. Leah, at first, didn't want Jamar to come to LSU, but Mickey's the one that convinced his mother that LSU was the right place. And he did a tremendous job of recruiting Jamar Chase. Justin Jefferson, no one knew about Justin Jefferson. I don't know if he had a star. And he came to camp. He ran a circle around. Mickey loved him. Justin Jefferson didn't qualify. Mickey stayed with him throughout the summer and didn't get qualified till June.
Okay.
And and Justin came. I think Justin was like 160 pounds soaking wet and had to develop. But Mickey saw something in both of those kids, and look what happened.
So Mickey Joseph, Coach Orgeron, is on the Nebraska staff. I mean, that's been official since December 3rd.
Yeah.
Mickey Joseph will coach the receivers here. He'll be the passing game coordinator and associate head coach. What is Nebraska getting in Mickey?
Well, think about this. Mickey was involved with Joe Brady and Steve Ensminger when we put in the spread offense, and that most prolific offense in college football history, and he knows it. So he's bringing that. He's bringing a wealth of knowledge on the football field. But the title of assistant head coach for me, Mickey, for me, was a guy I trusted, a guy that he handled. You know, as you coach a football team, things are going on a daily basis. Mickey was there early in the morning with me. Mickey was there talking to the parents. Mickey was there in academics, chasing them to the classroom, whatever they needed help. I remember we're going to the national championship. All right, and that week, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson had to pass a class online. And every I passed by Mickey's office at 10 o'clock at night, and there was Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson working on themselves, doing it themselves, working online to pass those classes, making me sure that those guys will be eligible.
So Mickey did it right. Do you regard him as like an immediate impact type coach? I mean, will we feel that impact? Okay.
Immediate impact. Oh yeah. And the players will love. You know, and plus Mickey played in Nebraska.
Right.
You know, I mean, so he can relate to them. Mickey's going to make a difference on the football team. Coach Frost did a great job of hiring Mickey. He's going to be his right-hand man. And being the head coach, you always need a guy like that. You always need a guy like Bill Bush. I knew Bill Bush was going to handle his stuff. I didn't worry about Bill. His DBs are going to be coached. His special teams are going to be coached. And his recruiting is going to be done. And I think that's what Scott Fawcett has. Both of those guys, the experience, and plus they're hungry. I mean, these guys want to be great coaches, and they're great staff guys.
Great staff guys, meaning what do you mean by that, Coach? Great staff guys.
Hey, stuff's going to happen. We want to win every game. We may win every game, but you know what? On a daily basis, we're going to face adversity. You know, we have to back up the head coach, and we have to be loyal, and we have to stay together. And a staff that stays together, the team sees that. We had a saying over here: one team, one heartbeat. And when we were very good, our staff stayed together. Look what our staff we had: Dave Miranda, Bill Bush, Mickey Joseph, Steve Ensminger, Joe Brady. I mean, all those guys are very successful coaches, but they were successful assistants also.
Yep. So by Ed Orgeron. And regarding the national title game coming up next Monday, it's another SEC matchup of Georgia and Alabama. You played Bama close together this year. You guys, your LSU squad did. But I'm curious, what do you expect for this game? Is this Georgia's time to shine with Kirby Smart? What do you expect next Monday?
You know, it's hard to pull against Nick Saban. I mean, the guy's phenomenal. He's a great coach. He has a great team. This is not his most talented team, I don't think. I've played him for years. I thought we defended him very well. We got after him with some zero blitzes. I think Georgia's going to have to play their best game to beat him. Can they beat him? Yes, because Georgia's a very talented team. I think it's going to be a good football team, and I think that Alabama has the edge.
Let's remind people of something, Coach Orgeron. Let's remind people of something. In 2019, with that LSU team that won the national title, you went into Tuscaloosa and beat an Alabama team. Jake will get this because Jake is a big-time NFL guy. Jake, that Alabama team they lined up. When they lined up in 10 personnel, Alabama, this is where the receivers. Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Waddle, Henry Ruggs, and Devontae Smith.
It's just not fair. It's just not fair.
And you beat that team, Coach. You beat that team in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, we beat them very handily. They came back. We had a great game plan. Our guys were ready to play. We knew to win the national championship that we had to beat Alabama.
Uh-huh.
And we beat them. We handled them pretty good. After that game, I felt like we were going to win the championship.
Man. Joe Burrow. Go back to Joe Burrow. What do you see from him in the NFL? Is what he's doing what you expected?
Yes. Yeah. And Joe's a champ, man. Joe, we had a recruiting meeting on his visit. He didn't want to be recruited. He just wanted to talk football. So we went to a football meeting on Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
There were 6 of us in that meeting, including me. And it took me 5 minutes to figure out Joe Burrow was by far the smartest person in that room. By far. and that was including me. And I went, hey, that didn't piss me off at all. I promise you, man. I just said, you know what, this guy, I've been with Matt Leinart. I've been with Heisman Trophy winners, and this guy was just far and above beyond anything I've ever heard. And I knew that he had the moxie and the guts to be a champion.
How did the intelligence show itself?
Well, when you get to the spread offense, you can make decisions. You got to make quick decisions, and you only blocking with 5. But man, you got some choices out there. And Joe was like a quarterback, a coach on the field. He knew exactly where to go with the ball. He did it. You saw with Justin Jefferson. With Jamar Chase the other day on that long touchdown pass.
Mm-hmm.
He will make the safety go another way. He knows exactly what's coming. If it's a blitz, if it's zone, it's a man. He knows exactly where to go with the ball. He has a quick release, and he's just a winner.
Okay, another thing about Ed Orgeron, I think people understand it, but for the people who don't, you are known as a great coach, but also a great recruiter. Now, as a head coach, what do you look for in assistant coaches when it comes to recruiting? What kind of traits are you looking for?
I think in today's age, it's constant communication.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys, if you're not tweeting them or texting them 4 or 5 times a day, they think that you don't like them. So you got to be able to stay up with them and be honest with them and just be yourself. I just felt like with myself, listen, I'm not going to be anybody else but Ed Orgeron, and everybody knows it. And I just went into home and be myself. And you got to be a good listener and get them to trust you. And if you listen well enough, they're going to tell you exactly what they want, exactly what they need, exactly what they're looking for. And you got to be able to provide it in the right way.
Coach, there's a couple of things going on right now that are really changing the game in football. I'm curious your thoughts on the transfer portal. It's really exploded in the last couple of years, and there's guys going in there every day. There's thousands of names in there. What are your thoughts in general on the transfer portal? Is it out of control, or is it something that was bound to happen?
Yeah, I think it's out of control, but I think it's something that you got to deal with. And there's 2 parts to that.
Mm-hmm.
Look, when the graduate transfer came, when Joe Burrow came, we're happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're a graduate and you're not going to play, go find somewhere else to play. And if you're not happy, I can understand transferring somewhere, but transferring immediately is tough, especially when you transfer within a conference. I think it's not the right thing. I don't think it's the right message. But the thing that people don't talk about is guys think that the grass is green on the other side of the fence. They have a great education.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting paid cost of attendance, and they get the transfer portal and they don't get anything. There's more guys that don't get anything than guys that do, and they are ruining their chance for a great education. And that's what I don't like.
Interesting, but you're right. It's here to stay. You got to deal with it.
Yes.
It looks like opt-outs is a thing that's going to be with us too. Now, what is your viewpoint, for instance, on the opt-outs, the players that are not playing in the bowls to get ready for the NFL and to not risk their future in a bowl game?
You know, we dealt with it. We dealt with it here in COVID, and we had a lot of guys opt out. Guys were championship players, but you know what? That's their choice, and you got to be able to deal with it. And you can't be sour. You can't. You know, like Coach Carroll told me, hey, they opt out. That means they got hurt for the season. They don't blink. Got to move on to the next guy. So we say, don't blink and move on. I do believe, you know, that when you opt out at the end of the season for a bowl and you're playing for a lot of things, I think it hurts your team. I think that that's something that's a little sketchy. But you know, that's the players. That's the players. That's their own choice nowadays, and they got to make it.
Coach, it's not often that in the midseason teams can agree to, a coach can agree to be done by the end of the year and coach the rest of the season. What was the season like, knowing that you were going to be done by season's end at mid-season? What was it like coaching that team this season?
You know, I said, hey, mental toughness. I said, listen, man, I'm gonna stay with this team. I love coaching with the Tigers. I still love the Tigers. I had a great time there. I didn't have a bad day there. I understand the LSU standard of performance. We said it, 15-0. And that was it. And look, so you know, I feel like I did what I was supposed to do at LSU. I'm from the state of Louisiana. I did the best I could there. The program was not where it was supposed to be. 2 years of going 6-6 is not going to cut it at LSU. I understood. So you know what? I said, you know what? I get it. Okay, it's time for somebody else to step in. But I'm going to finish this season, and we're going to fight. And we did fight, and we fought to the end.
You did. You fought. You damn near beat Alabama again.
Yeah.
20-14 loss. Now, which brings me to the obvious question: how do you size up the national championship game, and who you picking?
Yeah, you know, again, it's hard to go against Nick Saban. I don't think this is his best team. Not the ones I played against, and but they're playing well, and because he's the greatest coach in college football history, and there's no question about that. Georgia's a very talented team. I was shocked that Alabama beat Georgia in the SEC championship. Mm-hmm. I thought Georgia was the more talented football team. Mm-hmm. I think Georgia showed up against Michigan. I think it's going to be a great game, but you have to give Alabama an edge.
Okay, I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
What's going on today? What do you got today, Coach?
A little workout this morning, man. I got a little run on the river, and then I got a little gym. I made a little gym in my garage, man. I got a squat rack. Nice. I got a bench rack. I got my boxing, man. I'm gonna do a little boxing today, and then I'm gonna relax this afternoon. Then I'm going with my trainer tonight, and we box from 6 to 8:30 every night.
What's your best punch? What's your favorite punch? You got a good right hand.
Hey, I like the hook, but I'm loading up that number 2, man. That number 2 is loaded up anytime.
Loaded up. All right, Coach. Thank you.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time. Enjoy your workout today, and we will catch up with you down the road. Thanks so much, man.
All right, man.
All right, take care.
Great stuff. That's Ed Orgeron, the former LSU coach, 2019 national champion, maybe the greatest team of all time.
Yeah, he doesn't
in college football.
Yeah, you got to consider it. And listen to that though, Jake. He's picking the Tide. He's picking the Tide.
As he's like he says, it's very hard to ever pick against Nick Saban, especially when it comes down to a championship game. That's the guy who gets it done every time. I mean, not every time, but more times than not. He's winning when it matters most.
You know what's strange, though, to say? Georgia's got more talent. Georgia's got more talent right now. They do. Especially with Mechie out. Georgia's got more talent. It's odd. I didn't ask him. The one thing I didn't ask him, I should have, is about how Bill developed Grant Delpit, who was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year as a sophomore, and then won the Thorpe Award as a junior, as the best defensive back in the country, which Bill developed him. Big word in your vocabulary, developed.
Yeah, you're damn right it is. That's my main word.
Bill developed Grant Delpit. I should have asked him about that, but he talked a lot. I mean, for people that missed the Ed Orgeron interview just now, he talked a lot about Mickey Joseph, talked a lot about Bill Busch. So yeah, get on that. You can Tell people how to listen to that, Jake, so the old man doesn't mess that up.
Yeah, if you missed any of that interview, just tuning in now, you can check it out at the podcast page at theticketfm.com. Will be on the up. It's obviously a podcast app, or if you have the podcast app, you can listen to it that way on Early Break with Sip and Jake, and subscribe there and rate the show. Also,
big thanks to Coach Orgeron, who's going to go work out.
He's going to box tonight.
Yeah,
did he say from 6 to 8:30?
He's got a trainer. It sounds like. Yeah, he got a trainer. He
2.5
works out a lot.
That's intense, man.
Yeah, he works out a lot. I mean, that's what he does. And he's, you know what though, Coach Orgeron's getting ready to jump back in. All right, you jump back into fray.
He's not done.
No,
he doesn't want to be done.
No, he doesn't want to be done. 60 years old, he doesn't want to be done.
Well, the thing with him is that he will always have an opportunity somewhere. It's just will it be a head coaching job? Right.
Probably though.
But he will always have the notion that he may have coached the greatest team in the history of college football. Yeah. You can argue that, but they're in the conversation.
How about that?
Like, you cannot just dismiss it and say no. That is certainly one of maybe the top 5 best teams in the history of the sport.
How about
he was the man in charge?
Yeah. How about what he said about Joe Burrow? 5 minutes in the room, he knew that he's the smartest guy in the room. Burrow's a dude. That's a dude. I mean. Hey, Jake, was that untoward of me earlier to say that's Tom Brady? That's the next Tom Brady. Am I going a little too far with that?
I mean, as a Dolphins fan, I really wanted Joe Burrow that year. That guy, why wouldn't you? What he did in that 2019 season, of course you'd want Joe Burrow. Because you could see excellence there. You could see that he's a stud.
Well, he threw 60 touchdown passes at LSU. He threw 60 touchdowns.
It was so stupid.
60 touchdown passes. I mean,
that season is one of the most refreshing seasons of college football in my recent memory, because Bama was, they beat Bama. LSU they've had success. They're not like a team that's out of nowhere, but they had not been like that for a while. That was such a refreshing season because LSU just came up and had this amazing season. It wasn't Bama, and they beat Clemson in the title game. They beat Trevor Lawrence and Dabo Swinney and took them down handily. It was just great. Joe Burrow was so likable. You saw him smoking the cigar in the post game locker room after they won the title game. Jamar Chase and Jefferson were incredible players. Ed Orgeron's obviously a very likable, lovable player, lovable coach. Mm-hmm. Just a very awesome bunch of dudes. Mm-hmm. Like, that is probably my favorite season in memory for a long time in college football.
What's interesting about that Joe Burrow thing is, people talk about Frosty didn't take him here. Well, you know what? Urban Meyer chose Dwayne Haskins over Burrow, basically.
Sure did.
I mean, Urban Meyer got that wrong. Joe Burrow didn't beat out Dwayne Haskins. I mean, they took Dwayne Haskins.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep, they did.
You don't always make the right decisions.
No,
right?
That was definitely the wrong one. Now, they're both first-round picks. One is basically out of the league, and one is the next maybe Tom Brady.
Yeah, I got to quit doing that to Burrow. In fact, you should have called me out.
Well, I got to say this, for Joe Burrow is taking a lot of sacks. And so to be the next Tom Brady, you got to last a long time.
Yeah. Is he taking a lot of sacks?
Oh, he's taking. I think he leads the lead in sacks allowed.
Yeah, he's got to
sacks the last 2 years.
Yeah,
last year
right.
for sure took 1 million sacks. This year I think he's first again in sacks taken, and he got hurt at the end of the game. Now he's fine for next week, but
you're right though.
Like he takes a lot of sacks.
Yeah, and he's not thinking about longevity probably, but I mean at some point he might start thinking about it. How long he's going to play in the league. He's just trying to win right now. He's trying to win, and they're winning. They won the AFC North. Ellie beat Pittsburgh and Baltimore for the AFC North title.
He beat the Chiefs.
Hello.
On Sunday,
the
hottest team in the NFL beat them.
Yeah.
Not in overtime, right? 34-31.
Well, again, thanks to Ed Orgeron. My God, that was good. That was interesting.
We'll try to get him on again, hopefully.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah.
Maybe after the championship game at some point. We'll see.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. He picked the Tide.
We will talk Husker Hoops with Robin Washut next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Brokers Insurance
Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family serving yours. That starts with how we hire. We go through an extensive interview process to really get to know you and show you who we are. We want to help you build a great career, be challenged, have fun, and bring home an excellent weekly paycheck. We offer competitive wages with benefits, including a day off for your birthday. Apply to be a part of the John Henry's family at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A warmer but windy day on the way as winds by late this afternoon could gust over 40 miles per hour. A wind advisory will be in effect late this afternoon through tonight. We'll top out near 46. Bitterly cold air starts to move in tonight with a low of 9, only a high of 14 tomorrow, and a chance of snow by tomorrow night. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
They say one great thing leads to another, and that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a ready next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area. But I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns big or small in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
You could celebrate a Nebraska football win with chips or wings and your favorite beverage, but Beatrice Bakery has all sorts of cakes to celebrate all victories this fall. Coffee cake, breakfast bread, artisan cakes, and especially Grandma's fruit cake. No one remembers who brought the chips, but everyone remembers who brought the cake. Make your parties memorable and your Mondays at the office better with cakes from Beatrice Bakery. They ship nationwide. Check out BeatriceBakery.com, proud sponsors of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. Welcome to our world of yum.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
South Lincoln has a new place for you to catch all sporting events. The Upside Bar and Lounge is your destination for Monday Night Football, UFC fight nights, and more. It's a great place to meet friends to enjoy great drinks and food, with plenty of TVs to catch all the action. There's easy access and free parking and comfortable seating for groups. And don't forget happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. each weekday. There's specials every night, including taco night on Mondays and burger baskets on Tuesdays. That's at the Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake.
This
good morning, little brother.
is Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Once again, if you missed the Ed Orgeron interview, you can check that out at the podcast page at theticketfm.com. Great stuff from Ed regarding all things Bill Bush, Mickey Joseph, the 2019 LSU team, next week's championship game, and more.
Joe Pearl.
Yeah.
He's a gem. And he does, Ed Orgeron really does like this state. That's genuine. That's genuine.
All right. Well, we're joined now by Husker Lions Robin Washington, who I believe also loves this state. Robin, thank you. Thanks for joining us today. I'm curious. The game on Sunday against Ohio State goes to overtime. Nebraska had a chance to win. Did you expect Nebraska to be in that game? What was your takeaway in general from Sunday night?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you making me follow Coach O. This is going to be a big disappointment and letdown for everybody. But,
no, it's not.
Someone had to do it, Robin.
No,
someone had to do it.
No, it's not a letdown. Don't say that. Right. Don't say that.
Well, as far as your question, I personally wasn't sure. I certainly had my doubts about how Nebraska would respond, but also you kind of look at the kind of situations of both programs. That was as good of an opportunity as Nebraska was going to get to potentially pull off a type of upset because of the way that Ohio State, had been off for so long. They hadn't played since December 11th. They'd hardly been able to practice, with a full team during that time. And so they were very rusty. And so Nebraska, they came off one of their better performances last time out, got everybody healthy, got some practice under their belt. So it was at home. So kind of set up to give Nebraska a real chance to maybe pull something off. And so it wasn't a total surprise. And, they responded the way that you would hope and gave a few plays short in the end. But I thought all in all, there were a lot of silver linings to take away from that game. But, in the end, it's a loss, and I know fans around here are pretty tired of talking about moral victories.
Robin Washut joins us from HuskerOnline.com. Now, Rob, it hasn't been talked about that much, but I want your assessment on this. Alonzo Verge only played 23 minutes. Fred gave those minutes to, I think you'd say Kobe Webster, most of them. What's the situation there? What are we looking at here, Rob?
I don't know if it's anything long-term. I think it was just Alonzo was having a rough night, and Kobe was playing really well. Kobe ended up playing 31 minutes in that game, the majority of which came in the second half and all of overtime. And I guess if nothing else, that's kind of further evidence that Fred is sticking to his new approach, where if guys aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, he's going to play somebody else who is. And so Alonzo Verge is too important to what Nebraska does for him to suddenly just be written out of the lineup. He had a bad game, but there were also people that were wondering why he wasn't on the floor at the very end when Nebraska had an opportunity to win at the end of regulation. And so it's one of those deals where Kobe played well, and he was kind of the hot hand there. The offense was just moving a little bit better with him in there. But, like I said, Alonzo's, when he's playing well, is arguably their best player. And so I think this is a deal where they're hoping that kind of levels out a little bit. They get, Alonzo back on track. But if nothing else, it shows you that they have a viable option that when he is struggling, they could turn the keys over to Kobe Webster and, give him a little bit more of an opportunity. CJ Wilcher also played, I think, for 34 minutes in that game, and so they turned to a couple guys off the bench a little bit more that really stepped up and were a big part of Nebraska being in that game until the final seconds of regulation. So I would expect Alonzo to be back in the starting lineup as per usual on Wednesday, and I would expect him to be much more productive than he was against Ohio State, against Michigan State.
The shot that Kobe Webster missed in the end there, what was Fred looking for on that possession?
Well, he said the number one option was to get kick out to Bryce McGowens to let him make a play. Okay. And clearly that didn't happen, and part of that may have been Ohio State taking Bryce out of the play. And then the next option was for Kobe to drive and dish to Derek Walker, and that clearly didn't happen. I think the third option was for Kobe to try to make a play. You watch that play, it happened so quickly. You just got to wonder how many of those reads, so to speak, that Kobe actually went through, because he kind of went charging up the court. I don't know how much he looked to pass and threw up a wild shot in traffic. And so that's, you go back to the whole issue of decision making, that did not seem like the ideal shot. And maybe that, Kobe saw that Ohio State was taking away the first two options on that play, and knew that with the amount of time left on the clock, him taking that shot was the only real option. So it's without breaking it down and looking at it slower, it's hard to know, but getting that type of shot in that situation was certainly disappointing. It was extremely low percentage, and certainly of all the guys, no offense to Kobe, I don't know if he's the one you want taking that type of shot with the game on the line. And again, it's a big reason why a lot of people were wondering why Alonzo Verge wasn't out there, because he is your number one playmaker with the basketball in his hands. And if anyone's going to make a difficult fadeaway runner with very little control, it's probably going to be him. So, you could look at it a lot in retrospect, but I doubt that was what Fred was hoping to draw up in that situation.
Tomorrow night, Nebraska plays against Michigan State on the road. Robin, what do the Spartans provide? What kind of seasons are they having right now?
Yeah, they're about as hot as any team in the country right now, and it's typical for Tom Izzo's team, and it's going to be a daunting week for Nebraska. How they respond coming off that loss, if they can find a way to focus more on the positives of that Ohio State game and build upon all of it. And they did a lot of really good things in that game.
They did.
Especially with their interior defense, the way they bottled up E.J. Liddell, and the way they were able to rebound and keep that. It looked like they were just going to get absolutely embarrassed on the glass with the way that game started. And they ended up being even on offensive rebounds and, only quote unquote out rebounded by 10, and the second chance differential wasn't all that daunting. So, they did a lot of good things defensively. Obviously, with the way that they responded, they fell behind by at least 8 points multiple times in that game. So they showed a lot of resiliency and had a lot of different guys step up and answer the call. So if they can find a way to carry that over, especially now going on the road, that's at least going to give them somewhat of a chance. But when you go up to East Lansing, that's a tough place to play no matter what, and especially with the way Michigan State's playing. And then after that, they're not even coming back home. They're going to fly straight out to Rutgers, to New Jersey for a Saturday afternoon tip. And so this is going to be, the Big Ten grind is officially here, and now you're starting to do the not only playing a bunch of difficult teams, but going through some schedule stuff that makes life a little bit difficult for you. So we'll learn a lot about how much progress they've actually made, and if that Ohio State game wasn't just a fluke set up by an advantageous situation with Ohio State coming off such a long break.
Rob, who would agree that the Big Ten grind has begun? You know where I'm going, Matt Painter. Matt Painter would certainly agree with that after his number 3 ranked Purdue team lost to Wisconsin, 74-69. Now, Purdue to me is I think they're the best team in the Big Ten by far, but I'm telling you that after a 5-point loss on their home court last night, how do you assess the Big Ten at the top right now?
Yeah, there's no dominant team that's going to just run through the league this year. And Purdue was probably the closest thing you thought was going to do that. I mean, people were saying that Purdue might not lose a home game this year, and now here they are, fairly into January, and they already got a loss at Mackey. So, I mean, Penn State just beat Indiana. You know, I mean, there's games like this where Maryland gave Iowa everything. So there's the league may not have like its true like elite no-brainer Final Four contender, but they have a whole lot of teams that are capable of getting hot and playing at that level. And then the whole league down to maybe the top 12 or whatever are full of teams that on any given night can compete with anybody. And I'll throw Nebraska in that mix. I mean, they just took the number 13 team in the country down to the absolute wire and had every opportunity to win that game. So when Nebraska plays up to its potential, they can compete with most teams in this league. And so this is another one of those years where the Big Ten, top to bottom, there are no off nights. Every team is good. Every team is capable of upsetting anyone. And, Purdue, Penn State is a perfect example of that. Nebraska, Ohio State is a perfect example of that. So it's we say it's a grind, and this is going to be, as much of a grind as we've seen in the league this season.
Robin, always good stuff. Thanks for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
Sounds good, guys. See you later.
Husker Online's Robin Washut.
People think I'm crazy, Jake. You may too. But if Nebraska goes and play Michigan, if Nebraska goes and plays Michigan State close, you watch Nebraska. I mean, this is I'm saying big game. Call me crazy. I'm not giving up on them. If they go play Michigan State close in East Lansing, you got to watch them.
That'd be nice to have them play close or win the game.
Or win the game, yeah. You got to watch them.
We've already seen a couple of 30-point losses this year. We don't want to see that again for this team.
No, I think that you watch this game closely. You're still trying to learn a little bit about this team. Let's see what they got, and let's see what happens with Verge. He is their best scorer.
Yep.
Now they're playing through Derek Walker a lot more now.
And that looked good.
It does
on Sunday.
It does. It did look good.
He played well. 15 points, 10 boards.
Yeah, they're trying to play through him a lot more. So we'll see what that looks like too.
Let's play the game. She'll give us a call right now at 464-5685. A chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. You started off the year with a win. Yesterday, you're down 0 to -1, but came back and won. Today's topic is Nebraska Bowl opponents of the past. I'll give you the score, the year, and the game. What team were they playing?
Yeah.
Get that?
Yeah, I should
feel good about this?
Yeah, fairly
you should
good.
feel good about this.
Since I covered most of them.
All right, 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the Takedown Sip in trivia. You feel good about Nebraska Bowl opponents of the past. Is that Tate?
Not bad.
Teat? Pete. I don't think it's Pete. Is this Pete?
Yes.
Okay, Pete. Yeah, Pete with the P. Harrison wrote a T. I'm like, I don't think it's that.
T-E-T-E.
Pete.
Yeah.
Pete, thank you for calling.
All right, Pete. Thank you for calling. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, Pete. First question goes to you. Here we go. What team did Nebraska lose to 17-14 in the 2006 Cotton Bowl?
In the 2006 Cotton Bowl. Oh, gosh. I don't remember us playing in the Cotton Bowl. 06.
5 seconds,
was
Pete.
it Texas A&M?
I got to steal this. Here's what happened in that game. It was fascinating. Auburn was playing a zone.
Oh, yeah.
Defense.
Yeah.
Auburn was playing zone defense in the first half. Nebraska was kind of picking it apart. They went to man, and Nebraska had no answers.
As you said, Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn.
That's the same game where the broadcasters kept looking at Brandon Jackson's calves and saying, those are cows. Those aren't calves. Those are cows.
Whatever,
right there.
yeah. That was Will Muschamp at Auburn, right?
Was it?
Yeah, Will
Was that-
Muschamp.
I forget about that.
Yeah, Will Muschamp. He was a
Okay.
he was a DC.
Oh, he was the DC.
Yeah, he was a DC.
All right, Sip, your first question to take a 2-0 lead. What team did Nebraska beat 30-15 in the 1986 Sugar Bowl?
Okay, now that's before my time.
Oh, well,
The 86 Sugar Bowl, what was it?
30-15 Nebraska wins.
That must have been LSU.
LSU is right. 2-0 lead.
Right.
Pete, to stay alive, your last question. What team did Nebraska lose to 22-15 in the 1981 Orange Bowl?
Clemson.
Jeez.
That was a quick answer.
Pete,
that
nice
was
job.
quick.
Way to stay in it.
Were you at that game, Pete, or something? That was quick.
No, it was my senior year in high school, and we needed a couple things to happen to play for the national championship, and they happened, and then we got kind of railroaded by the officiating, in my opinion.
Wow, that was
we
in
lost.
depth.
That's Danny Ford. Danny Ford coach that Clemson team.
Yeah.
All right, Sip, for the win, your last question up 2-1. What team did Nebraska lose to 17-14 in the 1979 Cotton Bowl? They lost 17-14 to this team in the 1979 Cotton Bowl.
79 Cotton Bowl.
You were about 13 years old.
They lost in the Cotton Bowl in 1974 to this team.
1979.
1979 Cotton Bowl.
Yep. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
I mean, I'm gonna say Houston.
Whoa!
Damn.
You got it right. Look at that. Pete had that one for sure, didn't
Did you have that? Pete?
I had that one.
Did you really?
Yes,
Well,
yeah.
Pete,
Good game, Sip.
thanks for calling in. We'll
Hey,
get you
good
back with a
job.
coffee and calling down the road.
Pete's about
Thank
my Pete's probably my age, probably about that.
I think
right?
he probably, well, maybe
Yeah.
a little bit older. Well,
Yeah.
he was a senior in high school for 1981.
Okay, so he's a little older
He's
than
a,
me.
a couple years older than
Yeah,
you, like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I was a senior in 85.
Okay.
85, so 4 years.
4
older.
years older than you.
Yeah. Hey, Jake.
Nice
I
work.
didn't know you would come with the old school.
I had to. I'm not going to give you all the recent ones. That's too easy.
Yeah.
I gave you one recent one that actually went to the call. It went to Pete 06.
Yeah, that was easy. That was easy. I was there. I was there at that game. I remember interviewing Will Muschamp. That was Tommy Tuberville's
Well,
team.
Yeah, but he was the DC.
Yeah,
Muschamp.
Will Muschamp was DC. That was Zach Taylor. And that's when you could tell Zach's arm strength just he couldn't put the ball in those tight windows against the SEC team. That was the problem. Zach was good, obviously, but
Yep.
he needed to put the ball in the tight windows in that game. He couldn't do it.
We will bring in DP and Jay Foreman next for the spillover on early break of the ticket.
South Lincoln has a new place for you to catch all sporting events. The Upside Bar and Lounge is your destination for Monday Night Football, UFC fight nights, and more. It's a great place to meet friends to enjoy great drinks and food, with plenty of TVs to catch all the action. There's easy access and free parking and comfortable seating for groups. And don't forget happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. each weekday. There's specials every night, including taco night on Mondays and burger baskets on Tuesdays. That's at the Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake.
What does better service mean? At Allo, it means that you get the best fiber internet available at prices that work for you. Better service means installers who show up on time. Better service means no billing shenanigans. Better service means a real person answers the phone. If you're not paying for better service, what are you paying for? Get Allo. Get better service. Switch today at allofiber.com/better service.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Bagels and Joe reminds you that you can order from the app or online and have your order delivered to your house. And Grubhub delivery is available too. You can also order curbside at any of their 3 locations or use the drive-thru at 78th and Pioneers. Bagels and Joe thanks you for your continued support of local business.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A warmer but windy day on the way as winds by late this afternoon could gust over 40 miles per hour. A wind advisory will be in effect late this afternoon through tonight. We'll top out near 46. Bitterly cold air starts to move in tonight with a low of 9. Only a high of 14 tomorrow and a chance of snow by tomorrow night. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone, and Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting January 8th, all for a chance to win $1,000. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up today. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting January 8th with 2 locations in Lincoln.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay. Brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with DP and Jay Foreman.
How are you guys doing?
Sup is what he said. Wow.
This is early, man.
Yeah, well, it's every day this time.
Yeah, it's early.
It's early break.
It's early break.
It's early
all
break.
the time.
Yeah, it's in the name, man.
Yeah.
We kind of,
Yeah, we're early.
You know, during this show, we had some news that I think DP will care about greatly. You probably already know the answer, DP, but I saw that the Washington football team will officially unveil their new name and logo on February 2nd.
Correct.
You're a fan of this team?
Correct.
Do you have any intel what it's going to be?
Yeah, what do we want to do here?
Commanders.
And what are our thoughts on the Washington Commanders?
The Washington Commanders?
Commanders.
What do you think about
Are
that,
we
Jimmy?
breaking news right now?
No. Just my opinion.
Oh, it's his opinion.
It's your opinion.
That's what you want, the Commanders.
No, it's not what I want, but that's what it's
That's his
gonna be.
opinion.
That's what it's
What
gonna be.
did you
Commanders.
want though? What was DP's choice?
I went through several different devices in this thing. I thought they should just change it to like the DC Metro and be smarmy about it. But then Washington football team, the football team works for me. It works for me.
Yeah, it does to me.
I got used to it.
Wait a second. The Washington. Now, wait a second. Metros?
The Metropolitans. So they wouldn't use it because of the Mets, but Metro, the DC Metro is what they were trying to focus on. So you'll see there's several different underground connected folks who've pitched this Commanders idea, and they thought it was very specific to DC.
Commander in Chief.
Nice looking logo type deal.
They just lost all respect for me, man.
Why is that?
You play for the Buffalo Bills. Come on.
Like
the Texans didn't even try.
Bills.
The Texans didn't even try.
Hey,
like they
man,
just went.
You can't be coming out there talking about some Commanders, man. That's some stuff you see like in youth baseball.
Your logo is a buffalo with a red stripe through it. What is that?
Like
What is that?
the Bills didn't even try. Like
what is that?
They didn't even try.
But we got some brand with Commanders. I mean, that's
wait a minute. Washington has Super Bowls. What does Buffalo have?
They got 4 straight losses.
Don't at me with Buffalo and Washington. You can't.
I'm just talking about the name.
Like
I don't
tell
care
your
about
players
that.
to show up with their helmet in hand, ready to play on the biggest day of their career, so that
Right,
we don't have to
right.
run them out the building. No, don't do that. You from DC? Stop it.
But that's what I'm saying. The Commanders, you could do something better than that. If you first of all, if you dig your heels in the sand and say, I want to be the Redskins.
You don't.
For
though.
years. Yes, they did. Daniel Snyder did not want to change.
He doesn't speak for me. So
okay, but he owns the team, so he
Right.
speaks for the team. So he didn't want to change the name from the Redskins. He had to be forced to change it to the football team.
Correct.
Or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the best you come up with is the Commanders. I hope they just don't change.
like it.
They just hopefully they don't change the colors because
I
they gotta
said I
keep
don't
they gotta
like
keep
it.
the uniforms
They
the
gotta
same.
keep
I
the
said I
colors
don't
key.
like it.
Now
don't
I'm
like
thinking
the-
like how do you have the brand of the Washington football team colors in your uniforms, which I like and always have liked.
Yeah, sweet.
They're
They're
sweet.
This is good color.
And then
scheme.
you have Commanders on it. You're gonna put. I mean, I just
What are
think
you
you
putting on the
might as well
helmet?
just should have kept it the Washington football team, or do something with the DMV or something like that.
I agree with everything you just said.
What do you put on
Just
the
as long
helmet?
as I guess if you do the Commanders,
The numbers. You stick with the numbers on the.
Not bad.
if you do it if you stick with the Commanders or something, at least just don't change the colors.
They're married to
I hope
the
they don't
burgundy
change.
and gold.
Yeah, I mean
um,
that is
to not become Patriots South. Every other sports team in DC is red, white, and blue because you're the nation's capital.
Sure.
But the Virginia side of this thing was
well. That's the
battling-
problem is you bring people in from Virginia.
Leave us alone, man.
Whoa.
Leave us alone.
Whoa.
You leave us
Anybody
alone.
Fired
that-
over here.
yeah.
Jay.
Virginia either they dip into mess things up. They either mess things up for the Redskins or they Cowboy fans. I always look at people funny that when they're from Virginia talking about they Cowboy fans.
Like I have so many of my friends from DC who are Cowboys fans.
And then you look at them and you got to ask what part of Virginia you from.
Yeah, they might be from the country.
No, they're
Yeah.
also from they're from
Yeah.
Maryland. They're from Capitol Heights.
From the country.
They're from Forestville,
They could be
Maryland.
from the country.
They're
There's
from
country.
Forestville, Maryland.
Have you ever
know.
been
I
Virginia?
know.
He's never been in. I guarantee he's never been in
There's
Virginia.
Virginia's country.
I've driven to
Virginia.
Virginia.
There's some country
I'm-
Virginia.
So let me clarify. I am from Northern Virginia. I'm from Arlington.
Okay.
So I grew
Yeah,
up
so
5
he's-
minutes from the Pentagon. So I was
No
affected.
country there.
You're
No.
not from the country.
No, Manassas out,
Yeah, he's from the right part of
Albemarle,
Virginia.
Charlottesville. Yeah,
You get down there where the University of Virginia is at.
Yeah, Charlottesville.
They still practice apartheid down there.
I didn't say that.
No, we
country.
No,
but-
we thank Ralph Sampson for breaking the color barrier in Charlottesville, Virginia.
And you know they only let him in because his brother's name is Ralph.
Yes.
They won't let no Demetrius Simpson and Sampson up there. You know what I mean?
Well, they let Ralph in, and then because they let Ralph in,
You need to
they had to
stop.
let Othell in. So
Right.
that's when, they were like, that was the sell. Was we'll look, to get Ralph, we'll take Othell,
Right.
and then you got Olden,
Oh,
and then you got
Right.
you got
God.
Olden Pollarding. So
We had to start somewhere.
Old
Because
school.
you remember when Othello Harrington came up to Georgetown, he went to Virginia. They're like, nah, bro. We already had one of you. Go up there and talk to
I
John
don't
Thompson.
think it worked that way.
That's what I always say. You know, Nebraska's changing stuff. We had a couple of Daquans. We got Dakotas coming in here.
Dakotas.
Hey,
We got
hey,
Dakotas.
hey, man, some cats are on notice. You know what I'm
Who
saying?
do we need to talk to make sure that Dakotas is the name on the back of the jersey?
Yeah, now that,
No,
Like his last name cannot be on the jersey. It
Just
has to
put-
be Dakotas and number one. Dakotas one. It's got to be.
Coldest one.
but
that's
his
it.
middle name is to ever do it though.
Yeah.
I can't wait to meet.
that's
You
his
know
middle
what?
name is to ever do it.
I'm giving that brother a hug.
The coldest to ever.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it, his mom is the one that named him.
He's got a lot to live up to with that name.
He already
Lots
been
and
lived
lots
up
of
to
I
it.
don't know. It's
Hey, he's gonna come in here breaking ankles too.
I hope he does. That'd be great.
He's a Division I football player. He's
Yeah.
already elite.
He's already did it
He's
with no
already-
quarterback in high school, putting in work.
what are you guys going to talk about today?
I follow Jay.
What are you going to talk about?
I don't know, man. You know, there's Oklahoma had some breaking news.
Yeah.
Your boy Caleb Williams, though, you could already tell. Like, this is what people don't understand. If you just listen to people when kids when they do interviews, you can already see that dude comes with some issues. When his dad put out a statement, and then his press conference after their bowl game, you can already see that dude has some issues.
What kind of issues?
Well, you want to ask the question.
He's high maintenance, number one.
Yeah.
And he's a very good quarterback.
Yeah,
but then they did put him on the bench at some point in time, which
they did.
They put him on the bench. That lets you know right there. Once he got benched, and then you marry that up with his, I guess, exiting press conference, then that's how you know he's in the portal, because he had no reason to be in the portal. But then that lets you know Oklahoma was cool with him being in the portal. Now they put out the statement to CYA. Gabriel's there already right now.
He's
there. Right? Yeah. He left UCLA. He said, Chip Kelly, you know what, man? You probably on the way out, man. You a lame duck coach. Let me go down here right here.
Hey, hold on now. Could be a reason he's in the portal, because if a team's giving him $1 million, that's a good reason to be in the portal.
Do you think that them rednecks down in Oklahoma ain't giving him $1 million?
I don't know.
Hold on. The bag man has been trapped.
Hold on. Here's the deal. He's had money to go there
to Oklahoma.
Yeah, before NIL.
Maybe got more money.
Okay, but it's not about the money, because if he's getting, just say for practical purpose, say he's getting $50 to go to Oklahoma,
okay,
$75 to go to
Georgia,
right? Is it really worth it? You already established there. You got a ton of receivers there, right? You already know you're starting. You already put up a ton of stats in the Big 12. So now you're going to say, what? I'm going to go to Georgia and do what?
Win a national title.
When does Georgia win a national title?
Well, they're about to.
Okay, so you think you're going to go down to Georgia and win a national title, and that's going to do what? He's already probably projected to be, what, 1 or 2?
Aren't kids interested in winning it all?
Some are.
You're not going to win it all right now.
No, Steve, you can't reel me in there, man. I'm not one of these little catfishes that you catch out of the lake over there on 70th. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit. Listen here, dude. Kids right now, this day and age, winning is not. In some cases is important to them. They don't love football. That's what you're getting at.
Some do.
A
lot do. Let's say a lot do.
They do not. Because the kids, they have too much stuff going on. They don't love football. 80% of them don't love football. They don't know how to love football. Maybe that's probably, but they don't know if they do. You know what they love? They love NIL. They love being on radio stations. They love talking and less doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what they like. They like getting recruited.
This is Jay being angry that it wasn't around when he was here.
No, I didn't really. No, not at all. First of all,
because I think you would look. I think you would have excelled in this environment.
And I would have done what I needed to do, but my dad would have. That wouldn't have happened.
Well, but that's the part. You had that other boundary that a lot of these kids don't have.
But we had the boundary of I wanted to play football. I cared about football first, above anything else.
That's all we had.
But
we understand times are different.
But Jason Peter and them were in tons and tons of magazines. Football came first, so it's not about having it. It's that what you really care about doing. That's why you see a lot of guys don't reach their potential when they even make it to the league, right? Because they don't know what it takes to actually play.
But
at the professional level?
But are you accepting that today's young person was raised in social media, Instagram,
sure,
in that thing? We didn't. That wasn't what this was.
Yeah, we had 20 years ago. All we had was NCAA football.
Yeah,
and but at the same time, guys that have actually more. I don't know if they have more Twitter followers or whatever, but have more on the line coming out of high school. Find a way to stay focused, and they're in the national championship, right?
A lot of that's boundary and upbringing.
But you can't tell me, because they're getting the same amount of time to recruit these kids, and there's a failure rate at Alabama. You just don't hear about it because 99% they're playing for the big. So if you transfer from Alabama, they already know. Like it's like if you can't play it with the Patriots, right? Or Bill Belichick. If Bill Belichick doesn't sign off on you, even if you don't sign back there, then they know that you're not. Something's wrong,
not right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's almost like what they said, Antonio Brown. If you can't play for Bruce Arians, right? and you mess up with Bruce Arians or like Wade Phillips when I was coming, there's something wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
Or like even like
Well,
when
Dom Capers was
Dom Capers
was
Joe
that guy,
Gibbs,
right?
right?
Like you understood.
So what these kids are doing, they love football, man. I mean, yeah, it's one thing to tell me. You can tell me. There's an old saying. You can tell me that you love football.
But you're gonna show me.
But your
here's the thing.
But hold on. If your everyday actions aren't saying it, your actions are speaking so loud. I can't hear a dang thing that you're
I
telling
don't
me.
disagree with you. It's just hard to hear. And I mean, I talked to a Texas football coach last night who said they didn't have a running back. They can't find guys to play. They had to go get a guy off the soccer team to play running back.
That is
At a high school?
That is mind blowing.
In Texas.
I coached in Texas.
Suburban Fort Worth.
No, that to me is mentally lazy. Like that's just an excuse. To coach in Texas, running backs.
I get Rico to really running back.
No, I'm just telling you what he said, GP.
I can go down and look to go down the corner. The 6-team running back at a 6A at Katy or Allen or any of those schools in Texas.
Not any of this.
They're dudes. Now, because you didn't go do the work to go reach out to those dudes, but you're talking about 6 deep, legitimate 6 deep, where the 6-seeded running back on a team in Texas, high school team in Texas, is running a 4.55 40 and is 215 pounds.
No, one of the things that happens in Texas though is a lot of these high school coaches do a really good job of like recruiting. So they'll go and they do it like college, right? So there's a thing like Georgia. Remember when Georgia signed the #1 quarterback, and that's why Justin Fields left like 3 years in a row, right?
Yep.
So somebody's going to be out, right? Easton went to Washington, then they had Fromm, and then here comes Justin Fields. And then he played like one play against Alabama.
Yeah.
They do that in high school in Texas. So that coach might be there, and he didn't, like DP said, he didn't do his job. Now, also,
he's not a head coach.
Right. Well,
he's not a head coach.
Then you need to have guys out there. And here's also a problem when you have these 7-on-7s and all that. Now, 7-on-7s are like club football, Now you're starting to get into the AAU thing where Steve Sipple, right? He's the quarterback. And I've kind of mentored you or came up through my program. Now all of a sudden I'm your handler. See, NIL has brought all of us knuckleheads into it to feast on these young kids, right? So now I'm actually trying to steer you somewhere that you don't even know that I'm I am personally benefiting off of.
Yeah, the kids aren't even some of them aren't making the decision.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how much Wandale made that decision. I mean, he probably was part of it.
I'll tell you this, man. If the Gophers were booty when I played, right?
Minnesota.
Booty. Okay. I mean, we got to get on things where we don't have to like watch what we're saying. I'm just hoping this early in the morning I don't do something and say something.
I got a dump
to it, right?
He's got the dump button.
So
Booty's okay.
Now look, if we had just beat Florida, and I was a redshirt freshman starting linebacker, and they came to my dad, or my dad came to me and said, "Hey, look, man, they just brought me a $200,000 house. We got 2 cars, and here's $100,000, and you got to come back to Minnesota." I can guarantee you, as much as I love my teammates, that would be after a conversation that me and Chuck Foreman are going to have numerous amount of times.
And your uncle and your
well, first of all, the person that probably would make the decision is grandma, which I called her nanny. She would come in and she was running things, right? Because she had a serious left hook. I'm the only one that's ever dodged it. You know what I mean?
Good job.
I'm just saying, but
good job.
That is a conversation that would have, and especially say we just beat Florida, and then I'm back home. And see, in Wandell's case, they didn't go to a bowl game. So if I'm there engulfed in Minnesota, right, not only what I got on the table from a guaranteed, but then you start bringing in, and Minneapolis is way bigger than, was it Lexington?
Yeah.
And it's bigger
Lexington, Kentucky, yes.
Right, and it's bigger than Lincoln. So you start thinking of all this stuff. You can get engulfed, and it worked out for Wandell.
It did. Absolutely.
But for every Wandell, Justin Fields, even Easton I talked about, because he played in the NFL. There's JD. There's so-and-so.
Yeah,
so-and-so.
you can go, yeah. There's guys that never make it out of the portal.
They're in. I call it the vortex.
Yeah, they're in the vortex.
It is the vortex. It's like when you go in Star Wars and you hit the light speed and you don't come out of it. It's still that white screen.
Right.
You a big Star Wars guy, Sip?
No.
No? Yeah,
No.
I thought so. That's why I just
Why
asked
did
you.
you say, why did you think
You
so?
just don't look like it, man.
What's that supposed to mean?
Because you drive a pickup.
I don't look like a Star Wars guy?
You don't need to be a Star Wars guy.
You don't strike me as a Star Wars guy.
You strike me as an Indiana Jones.
But I'm not a Star Wars guy either, so don't take that.
You strike me as like an
be a Star
Indiana
Wars guy.
Jones type of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm feeling what you're putting out. You know,
I'm not a Star Wars guy either.
I'm not either, so it's fine.
Yeah. Jake, you ain't a Star. We didn't even ask you really. This was just like an A and B kind of a C conversation, right? This was like the
why would Jake not be a Star Wars guy?
This is like the triangle of trust over here, right? And he tried to make it like the square. You know what I mean?
The square of trust.
Yeah.
We are in a square right now, by the way. We are. That was enough. That was enough for Jake.
For the 2-minute drill.
Hot route. Red 7. Red 7. Hot route. Now. Set.
Are Baker Mayfield's days in Cleveland over?
Why would they be over?
No.
They bring him back.
You need him.
What is it?
You have a better option.
It's his third year, fourth year.
I think it's his fourth year then.
Yeah, I think they bring him back because they're already financially on the hook. The biggest question is, do they pick up his fifth-year option? Because if they don't pick up his fifth-year option, which actually could work out good for him, and I got to give him a little bit of break. Having a torn labrum, trying to play quarterback.
He's beat up. He really is beat up.
But he played though.
Is it in his
You know that
throwing
way-
shoulder?
He got
Is he
sacked
throwing?
9 times last night too.
Yeah, but you know he played with torn labrum, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He played
Look,
with a,
look, I don't have the Baker hate that some people do.
but he played with a torn labrum. Though,
Yeah.
you understand?
Yeah, that's tough.
So you're not even getting what I'm talking about, right?
No.
I'm just saying. I mean, are you?
See,
Okay.
he walking me into this one.
I think you should continue this on old school.
Yeah,
That's
he's on
next.
old school.
He's
I tried to
walking
give him a
me-
softball, and
No,
he's
he's
the only
walking-
person that struck out. And
Oh wow, he struck out the softball.
he's the Nick.
Yeah, he called it Nick.
He's walking me into this one.
Old school is next for Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.